Welcome, gamers, to WGS Off the Clock. I am picking up, sort of, on where I left off yesterday. Yesterday, I revisited some demos that I couldn't record for whatever odd reason. And on a happy accident on Sunday, I figured out the solution. So I tested it out yesterday. It worked. So now I'm going back to NSFW demos that I was not able to record. Now, I wanted to record all 4 of the ones that were not recordable, but I looked at the clock when I started, realized it wouldn't work. Not that it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work isn't exactly accurate. Basically, I'm recording this too late, so I could only stick with the 2. So what I decided to do, could only stick with 2. So what I decided to do was I remembered that I had downloaded a game and the game's prequel, so I'll just do those. Same company, or yeah, I guess company. Same company, same game developers. Prequel, here you go. Let's have fun. Alright. Need to have a quick word, though. For those of you who are new to these, the reason why I record NSFW demos to begin with is to break the stigma around sex. And with the bullshit going on with Collective Shout, where they decided to let payment processors know, hey, look at all these NSFW games going on Steam. They're going against you. I guess they're going against their TOS. You need to take these down. TOS. Tango. OS. Thank you. So yeah, now we're dealing with that. So now Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and Stripe are getting a shit ton of calls right now. Talking about how they shouldn't be censoring our stuff, what we buy legally, and blah blah, yakety yak, you get the point. And them doing that only lets me further know I need to keep going with this series of videos. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, so the 2 games, well, demos, 2 game demos, that I got for you lovely folks are the Divine Speaker, the Sun and Moon. This is the prequel. And then we have the Design Speaker. Design? Divine. I can talk. So the way this goes, I'll just show you this description since I didn't think to pull it up. So the story-rich 18-plus prequel to the Divine Speaker. Follow alongside Aemyl and Lucius in a 2-sided story about the past and the future. Alright. By 2.5 Studios. The Divine Speaker, the Sun and Moon features consensual sex scenes between male adults. You know, the only MLM that is actually appropriate. Men loving men. And then we have the Divine Speaker. A story-rich tale of breaking the bonds of fate and meeting some cute guys along the way. Okay. Ooh, that's nice hair. Anyway, again, the only appropriate and acceptable men-loving men. Alright, and without further ado, let's start with the Divine Speaker. Now, these... Oh, fuck it. And each one gets 30 minutes. I might still be starting this too late, but that's okay. Alright. So, will it work? Right now it is because I've clicked off it, but I'm going to click back onto it, and it's going to go black. So, I accidentally figured out before to fix this issue. Instead of full screen, we go widescreen. I don't know why that works. But you know what? Yay. Alright, so return. Start. Welcome to the demo for the Divine Speaker, the Sun and the Moon. This game is a prequel to the Divine Speaker and is best played after completing at least one route. Oh. Oops. Please note, this game will contain spoilers for those that have not yet played the main game. Oops. I forgot about that. Ooh, sorry. It all began with the sun and the moon. I should probably hit start on the timer. The sun burnt radiantly, so bright and warm. Contrary to that, the moon surrounded itself with the embrace of the night and danced with the stars. The moon could only glow because of the sun, and the sun shone just for the moon. Its moon. Aw. Desperately in love, but destined to remain polar opposites, just out of reach. Those fleeting moments at dawn and dusk were like heaven. Those slight glimpses were all they were ever allowed. And so every night and every morning they sacrificed themselves for one another, forever apart. Aw. Sad face. Hidden deep within the palace walls was a room where sunlight could not reach, birds couldn't be heard singing, and any chance for fun was non-existent. That should not be funny. Tall bookcases reached all the way to the ceiling, filled with knowledge both old and new, public and forbidden. Ooh. The Royal Archives, the personal library of the royal family and the divine speaker, and now a classroom for two very unimpressed young men. A musty smell settled around them. Somehow it was both pleasant and suffocating at the same time. On top of this was the low drone of someone speaking, continuing on with the lesson. And inside the young speaker in training's head, a swirl of voices that couldn't be stopped. Even if he wanted to concentrate, he couldn't. All the voices were both real and not mixed and stirred in his mind, becoming one cascading scream. Oh, Caspian. Aemyl glanced at the boy sitting next to him. He stared out at the door, not paying any attention to their lesson. As per usual for him, Aemyl's notes were laid out on the table in front of him, neat and in order. His handwriting was tidy and respectable, enough so to make the older woman watching over him smile, proud. But when her gaze shifted towards Caspian's loose sheets of paper, half scrunched up and half stained with what was probably coffee, a scowl came to her face. A smile came to Aemyl's face. Ah! In many places, he felt as though he had a long way to go in catching up to Caspian, but not in this case. Caspian, teach. Can't we just skip today's lesson and go outside instead? It's too nice out there to be stuck in this stuffy room. I mean... Ooh. Nice design. Aemyl sighed, used to the same discussion every day. But even so, he felt a tug at his heart that made him want to agree with the young, brown-haired man. It was a fault he could never shake. Something about the way Caspian spoke made people, and especially Aemyl, want to listen. Aha! You never change, Caspian, but I suppose I never do either. Aemyl sucked in a breath. He had never been good at not doing what he was told, but... I can keep an eye on him, and we'll be back before it gets dark. Promise. Oh! Oh! Look at that, a change, sir. Are you kidding me? Gods, please tell me this is a joke. How do you two ever intend to lead our town if you can't even sit through one lesson? A good king must know every single rule and regulation. I'll take your word for it. And of course the divine speaker must as well. Snore. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm with Caspian on that one. And secondly, both of you need to work on your manners. You would dare talk back to me? Yes. How do you expect to command the masses when you can't even take me seriously? I do not see how that goes together. Obedience, and if the only way you can recognize respect is through obedience and compliance, that is a you problem, lady. Arella, teach. We don't need dumb lessons to be able to get along. Aemyl and I already know all we need to know. Anything else, we'll get to it when we get to it. I mean, he's not entirely wrong. Aemyl could feel his brow becoming sweaty. He agreed, of course, but he dared not speak up about that. Prince Caspian, gosh, if this is the way our town is going, that's it. We'll start again from page 1. Obviously, these lessons aren't getting through to you. Aurelia Cavella is surrounded on all sides by the evil force. Only by the grace of the divine blessings, the gods that watch over us, can we live here in safety. The king and the divine speaker have worked together harmoniously for thousands of years, and you're expected to do the same. Psst, Aemyl. Aemyl watched Caspian out of the corner of his eye. Careful not to attract any attention from the teacher. Yeah. Let's get out of here. Don't you think she'll catch us? Maybe it's not a good idea. No way. We're way faster than her. Come on, I can't go without you. Fine, you go first. Shh, follow me. I mean, I'm a Caspian on this one. Arella spun around deep into one of her lectures. She'd get into the speech mode every now and then, usually when Caspian offended her in some way or another, which was most days. Aemyl, while excited, couldn't help but feel a little bad. Between the two of them, he was always the good kid, but Caspian is much more important to me than any lesson. Oh! So, from the start, the divine beings protect our lands, all thanks to the speaker. Our king leads the masses with the speaker at his side. Together, the two create a rule that no other could achieve alone. The king could not rule without his speaker, nor the speaker without his king. The speaker must be prepared at all hours to commune with the gods, to obey their wishes, and to support his king. He must be not only in tune with himself, but with the spirits and gods as well. However, Where do you think you're going? Whoops, see you later, Teach. We got somewhere to be. Sorry, Ms. Earl. We'll be back later. Don't miss you too badly. This way, before she catches up. You go down dark alley. All right. Phew, I think we escaped. Nice idea hiding in here. Caspian collapsed down by the wall, huffing and puffing from all the running. Aemyl dropped down next to him. I'm pretty worn out, too, obviously. Once she catches up with us, we're dead. I know what you're thinking. If she catches up, we'll just keep running. Easy, don't you think? That was boring anyway, right? How many times has she told us the same thing? The king and the speaker must rule harmoniously. Yeah, we get it. Yeah, but aren't you worried that one day we'll, actually need to know that stuff? Seriously? Why bother worrying about that? We've known each other our whole lives. We don't need that grandma teaching us how to work together. I guess you're right. And then we'll finally be in charge. No more boring lessons. Exactly. It's you and me forever. Aemyl reached up and stretched out his shoulders. Constantly poring over books isn't good for your back, apparently, but the only way to keep up with the lessons is to study into the night. I love both their designs. He's got, bright blue eyes. It's awesome. The sun was still high in the sky, and the weather was pleasant. Not cold and not hot either. Just right. A few lazy clouds floated gently through the sky, shaped like nothing in particular. I'm actually a little disappointed. But for some reason, Aemyl found his eyes drawn to them anyway. No shit. The sky is so big, much bigger than our city. When Aemyl looked at the sky, he felt so small, so fragile. In a way, it made him feel better about everything. Oh, okay. Maybe he could be a forgettable cloud drifting lazily through life, too. Maybe his problems were just a speck of dust compared to that wide blue expanse. That's okay. Aemyl glanced sideways at Caspian's profile. When you look at him like this, he really does look like a capable leader, like his dad. Unfortunately, his personality tends to betray him. Ha! Such was the way of Caspian, crown prince and chief troublemaker of Aurelia Cavella. Some days he had the makings of a perfect leader, and on others not so much. But it's fine. I like both sides of him, no matter the kind of person he becomes. I'll always like him. Okay. Do you ever wonder what it will really be like? When are we going to get his perspective? What do you mean? Actually being the speaker. What if I can't do it after all? Well, a silly thing to worry about. Sir! Hey, of course you can. I mean, how could you fail with me at your side? As long as you don't end up as stuffy as Lucius, that is. He's not stuffy. Agree to disagree, then. I think we looked up the words pompous asshole in the dictionary. Oh, I think if we looked up the words pompous asshole in the dictionary, there'd be a sketch of his smug little face. Long white robes and a haughty personality aren't a good look. And that's disregarding the fact he hates me for some reason. He treats me as if I'm a child. I mean, you kind of act like one. He doesn't hate you. Oh, trust me, he hates nearly everyone. You're just biased because you spend so much time around him. Anyway, even if it is scary, I'll be there. Here. And you'll be way cooler than Lucius, too. Me cool? You must have me mistaken for someone else. Caspian shrugged. Obviously not agreeing with the silver-haired man once again. I just now notice the reflection of light. Or is that some form of transparency? Silver hair, but you can see the skin color coming through it. Who designed this? You are amazing. Well done. I'll be here to keep you in line. I swear if I see a single white robe in your wardrobe. Aemyl looked down towards the ground, suddenly feeling bashful. Yeah, you're right. Hey, listen, Lucius is a nice guy, so maybe if you just spend a little more time with him. No thanks. I think I'd rather eat my own shoe than hang out with him. Ouch. Start chewing then. Wait a second, I didn't really mean it. So you're telling me you would lie to me? A smirk rose to Emil's face as he watched Cassian glance down towards his shoes. Fine, I know that you're a stubborn idiot who will never be convinced of anything, but Lucius really is what a speaker is supposed to be. I guess that's why I was worried that I wouldn't be able to live up to that. Shouldn't you have guards or something? You're plenty enough. Caspian! Oh, Emilius! I'm going to find you, and when I do, quick! Grabbed Aemyl by the hand and pulled him behind the nearest bag of trash. Rubbish was overflowing from the top, falling over the ground. The smell was rotten and sweet, and the two boys held their breath as loud footsteps stomped past them. Is she gone? Phew, I think so. Caspian stayed crouching and first glancing around in search of Aurora before turning to peer at Aemyl. Hey, I only just noticed. You're wearing the headpiece I got you. Emil's hand raced up towards the intricate crescent moon ornament that adorned his head. In all honesty, he found it embarrassing at first to wear something so gaudy, but he felt his stomach do backflips when he remembered that Caspian was the one who had gifted it to him. I'll keep it forever. Of course I am. You got it for me, after all. Early tunes, but dump. Okay. That feeling was back again. That feeling he'd been trying to ignore lately. Love story. Really? I feel like people have been staring at me. Must look strange. Maybe I shouldn't wear it. Isn't that only natural? Oh, behold the radiance of the divine speaker-to-be. Thank the gods I have been practicing my courtesy. Ha! Very funny. I'm not going to force anyone to bow to me. What was that you said about Lucius? And now you want me to make people curtsy? No one said anything about forcing. They'll do it of their own will. Right. That makes it so much better. Perhaps a little practice is in order. Young Master Speaker, would you like me to bow to you? No. Emil's chest tightened, an uncomfortable feeling, but one he'd become all too aware of lately. His cheeks felt hot as if he were sick. I don't know what's wrong with me. Perhaps I'm sick after all. You're falling in love with the prince. But I feel fine apart from that. Nothing. Yeah, still comparing yourself to Lucius, are you? We'll go with that. What if I'm nothing but a disappointment? Well, I struggle to even speak in front of a crowd. Lucius, young Master Speaker, finally we agree upon something. Just how could we compare the two of you? I mean, it's almost unfair. He pales in comparison to you. Really, I feel a little sorry for him. What? Reverse psychology. When he spoke, Aemyl could feel himself hanging off of every word. Uh-oh. As if everything came out of his mouth was pure gold. Uh-oh. A precious feeling and a painful feeling. A feeling he couldn't even begin to understand. Oh, shit. So this is where you two were hiding. Ah! You two are in serious trouble. Run! The two of you need to start taking this more seriously. You're both adults now. You need to act like it. Run! Yes. Grabbed Aemyl by the hand and pulled him straight past their teacher and out of the alleyway. Behind them, they could hear heavy stomping. Get back here. Your father is going to kill you. Okay. Tell my father he can go stick it. What? Caspian, you can't say that about the kid. That's his dad. He can say whatever the fuck he wants. You need to stop worrying so much. We already know why he worries, but you need to stop worrying so much. Why not? That's a good question. Because he's the king. He's just my dad. Exactly. He's just my dad. I feel like I always get caught up in your mess. And I bet you wouldn't have it any other way. Aemyl scoffed, but he couldn't find himself saying he disagreed. Nope. Running away is all well and good, but now what? It won't be long until she catches up with us again. You know your father will be furious when he finds out what happened. Somewhere that she and Dad won't find us. The fields? The fields. Aemyl blinked once, then twice, confused. He wasn't sure he heard Caspian quite right. You know we can't go there. Your father forbids it. Well, I don't care what he forbids me from doing, and he can't control you. You aren't even related. But, come on, it'll be fun. Pretty please? We'll just go have a look around, then come back. All right. But when he asked, I had nothing to do with this. It was all my idea. That damn Caspian corrupting the mind of our speaker. Just what is the world coming to? I'm liking Caspian. I like them both, but I'm liking Caspian. He's funny. Fuck you, I do what I want. Alright? Cousin flashed Aemyl a toothy grin. It was as if he never had a worry on his mind, and that was something Aemyl deeply envied. You're his balance. He never worried. You worry too much. Perfect. He was everything he wished he could be. No. Well, whatever. That's what all these strange feelings are. Envy. I look plain and boring next to him. No, you don't. Don't you think we'll attract too much attention just waltzing through the center of town? We're not even supposed to go anywhere unattended. I was asking about that earlier. Where are the guards? What would they prefer? We stay locked up in the castle waiting to be saved or something? Who cares if they look at us? They can think whatever they want. I don't want to be stuck in there all day. It's too stuffy. Stuffy? They trip over each other to speak to us. Everything they say to gain some stupid imaginary friendship currency so that when we take over, we'll extend them whatever favors they ask. I'm sure they're not all like that. And I'm sure the majority only wants something from us. No thanks. We're going to make it on our own. You're the only one I want by my side anyway. Oh, that feeling again. It hurts. It didn't take long for the two to cross through the various districts and reach the fields that homed all of Aurelia Cavella's food sources. Why would they be forbidden to go there? Cattle and sheep graze next to the fields of rice, wheat, and corn. Aemyl looked on in interest. He was once again reminded how little of the world he truly knew. What now? Are you meant to sit and watch the grass grow? Ha! Don't tell me you have some childish game cooked up in that brain of yours. His eyes lit up instantly. Oh, fuck. What are we about to get into now? No, wait! Great idea. You're it. At a speed almost inhuman, he tapped Aemyl on the shoulder and quickly disappeared into the fields. Instantly, he was lost in rows upon rows of tall plants. Seriously? We're too old for this. No, you're not. Go have fun. Go play. Stop it. What will people think if they see us? That you're having fun. Now go play. I said you're it. You'd think at 18 he'd be above this. There's no way I'm playing this stupid kid's game. No, yeah, no way. Ugh. Go run! There we go. Aemyl shoved his pride to the side and leapt into the crops, running after him. Which way did he go? Hey, where are you? Over here. Where's here? In the wheat fields. Obviously. No matter which way Aemyl looked, he couldn't see him anywhere, not a trace of his tan skin or his dark hair or his blue eyes. He's not really tanned. Up ahead, he could see a gap in the crop. Surely there. Uh-oh. Aemyl stood frozen, as still as a statue. His mind yelled at him to back away, to call for Caspian to return to the castle. Yet, even if he wanted to move, he couldn't. His eyes were stuck on the place he'd never been so close to before. The forest. It was common knowledge that the forest housed a danger that would take your life if you were even to take a step into it. Some would say it was a risk to even stare too long at it. A deep sense of foreboding settled in the man's chest as he finally gathered the courage to turn away from the tree line. Time seemed to finally resume, and Aemyl noticed the way his heart beat hard enough to burst from his chest. That vast darkness that was whispered about in the dead of night seemed to be crawling its way from the forest towards him, as if trying to drag him in by the ankles. His ankles. Don't be stupid, Aemyl, it's nothing. Ah! Well, there you are. I was worried you were curled up in a ball somewhere crying. Ha! What? I wouldn't do that. And don't just grab onto me out of nowhere. It wouldn't be the first time. That was different. I was younger. If my memory is correct, I say it was about 6 months ago. Caspian chuckled lightly, turning his eyes towards the tree line. His gaze wasn't the same as Emil's. There was no sense of terror in his eyes. I wouldn't expect there to be. Grinning man. Instead, it seemed as if he were excited. You know, this is the first time I've been anywhere close to the forest. Oh, there goes the smile. Caspian took a few steps closer towards the tree line. No! Aemyl, desperate to not be left alone, followed behind him carefully. Pull him back! Glancing left and right as if waiting for something to jump out and grab him. Caspian, let's go our way. It was like an invisible wall surrounded the entire city. Out there, endless forests filled with creatures worse than any nightmare, and in here, safety provided by the divine speaker. Cool. The choice was obvious, was it not? Yet, what was that sparkle in the prince's eye? Sir! Turn around! Aren't you even a little bit interested? No. He reached a single hand out and touched one of the trees. The leaves rustled as his fingers grazed over them. In what? The forest. Aemyl felt his jaw drop. Caspian had always been outgoing and hadn't let the words of others hold him back from doing what he wished. But this was something more. There we go. Something he shouldn't be saying. What do you mean, am I interested in the forest? Of course I am. I'm interested in getting the hell away from it. There we go, Aemyl. Speak! I really love their designs. I know I said it already. Their clothes are mostly matching colors. Don't you feel it? Cass, you sound like a madman right now. Then maybe I am mad. It's like something out there is calling to me, drawing me in, begging me to go. The only thing calling to you out there is death, you know that. Perhaps, or perhaps that's what they want us to think, Caspian. You're probably right. So the whole lives we've been cooped up in this town. Sometimes I long for something else, something bigger than us in this town. Something like adventure. Okay, Belle. Belle. And you think being king will be an adventure in and of itself? You have the weight of the world on your shoulders, my liege. I know you're right, in my mind at least, but my heart. Is someone out there who's shuffling about in my crops? Aemyl and Caspian instantly stopped their bickering and quieted their breathing. Who is it? Darn kids. Who is that? Why would anyone else be here? If we get caught here, panic began to set in. Neither Caspian or Aemyl wanted to be found here, of all places. Do you trust me? Caspian's eyes locked onto Aemyl. You're not going into the forest. No. Who found himself frozen for an entirely different reason now. It was as if he could see... Oh, beat a sweat. It was as if he could see all the way through Aemyl, straight to his very soul. Of course I do. Cool. No! He didn't waste another moment. Caspian wrapped his fingers around Aemyl's slender wrists and pulled him into a run. Wait, where are we going? Keep your voice down. You said you trusted me. Who's there? Sound of someone pushing aside crops became closer and closer. It's now or never. Single step and they were over the threshold. That's all it took. A single step that changed the course of both their lives. I believe it. Single step that locked their fates in place forever. I believe it. He pulled Aemyl into the forest and the two ran like their lives depended on it. Wrong way! Ha! What have you done? Well, we haven't instantly been cursed by the gods or experienced spontaneous combustion, so it's going better than I expected already. Alright, cool. As far as I'm aware, anyway. The forest was eerily quiet. It seemed to stretch on forever in every direction. We're going to die. We can't be out here. Nobody goes out here. Oh my gods, what are we doing? Calm down, calm down. I'm perfectly calm. Okay, nice to meet you, perfectly calm. Okay, now is not the time for jokes, sir. Anyway, have you ever stopped and wondered why no one goes out here? The two men huffed and puffed, exhausted. Caspian collapsed backwards into the forest floor with a thud. Phew, come sit down, take a breather for a minute. We have to go. If we stay here, come on. Caspian gently pet the spot by his side. Of course, it was nothing more than dirt and grass, but when Caspian was the one inviting him, it suddenly looked a lot more attractive. Of course it did. Without another complaint, Aemyl sat down beside him. When are we gonna get Caspian's perspective? Those puppy dog eyes are too powerful. He's seriously a force to be reckoned with. Take a look around, properly this time. Can you see them? The birds? What about them? Do you think they look evil? What do you mean? They're just birds. Exactly. Oh, well, right. You're exactly right. They're just birds. He smiled to himself as if he'd just worked out something important. He's always been like that. When I was scared, when I thought I had no place in the world, he'd always smile and I would feel a little bit better. Cute. Even now, I hate it. I hate how it makes me feel. Aemyl? Huh? I asked you something. Sorry, I was zoning out a little. He leaned in close, scrutinizing Aemyl's face. You always do that. Sorry. I asked you, do you really think it's evil out here? Of course I do. We've always been taught that. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. We've been taught a lot of things. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you how you feel. What do you think? Not what you've been taught. And that's why I like Caspian. That's a common. How many times have I heard that name? Close your eyes and tell me what you actually feel. Reluctantly, Aemyl did what he was told. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. What I actually feel? Fresh air, the smell of moss, a slight breeze that carried a sweet scent, the sound of flapping wings, and the chirping of clouds. I don't know. Concentrate harder for a second, will you? He closed his eyes even tighter, screwing up his face in the process. What exactly does he want from me? What else is there? Oh, warm sunlight cascaded over his skin, falling from the canopy above. Below him, he felt the softness of the forest floor, springing to life. There we go. He felt the refreshing feeling of dew landing on his face, an earthy smell. Cicadas and frogs being noisy as usual, he opened his eyes again. So? I know what you're trying to do. It might not seem so bad, but that doesn't mean it's good. You know how dangerous it is. We just haven't found the danger yet. Ha! Always so serious. One of us has to be. Imagine if both of us acted like you do. Right, then we'd have be having too much fun. Ah! No, we'd be dead out here in the forest. Let's go back. They'll be searching for us. Let them. They can't control us forever. Cass, I seriously don't know what's gotten into you. I know you've always been carefree, but you're taking it too far. What about your father and mother? What about Aurora? Do you want her to get into trouble too? You know, sometimes it's okay to pull that stick out. Stick? That's not funny. Ha! You know, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's go back. Stood from the ground and stretch before holding out a hand to Aemyl. He hesitated for only a moment before he took that outstretched hand. Of course, taking his hand is the right thing to do. No big deal, right? That's what's wrong with me. Hand was soft and warm. Caspian had the hands of a man who never worked a day in his life and probably never would. Well, did hard labor. I'm pretty sure learning how to be king is hard work. Not that I'm one to talk. It was so much bigger than mine, too. Which way was it? Follow me. I made sure to keep track of the way we came. Really, I'm sure it was this way. Uh-oh! The sun had long since set over the forest, and the moon could be seen through the thick canopy. We hadn't even gone that far, and yet... It's like we've gone in one big circle, and that is the magic of the forest. They're going to kill us. Seriously, we're going to die. If not in the forest, then if not to the forest, then to your father. He will kill us. I'd be worried about my mother, honestly. Ha! Ugh. How about I lead the way? You? Do you remember the way back? No, but I can't get us any more lost than you've made us already. Ouch, that hurts. Fine, you lead the... Whoa! Watch out! Aemyl caught hold of his shoulders just before he could fall flat on his face. You clumsy fool. Pay a little more attention to where you're walking. It's not my fault that it's so dark out here. Who put all these roots everywhere anyway? Just take my hand, okay? I'll make sure you don't trip. What would I do without you? Trip over, obviously. Ha! Aemyl took... Okay. Gently took Caspian's hand in his own. Once again, his heart fluttered in a way that confused him greatly. He swallowed hard, trying to suppress the feeling to no avail. Eventually, he settled with turning away from Caspian, suddenly embarrassed. Come on, then. Yes, Sir Speaker. Hey, don't call me that, but it's true. Not yet. You gotta get used to it at some point. Not me, but the Great Lord Speaker. I don't think I'll ever be used to it. One day I'll be giving out judgments and giving speeches in the town square. I suppose so. Alright, well. Ah! Oh. Yeah, let's overwrite the save, now that I no longer have to call it attempt. Oh, shit. Sure you want to quit the game? We need to quit the game. Alright, and that's the prequel. And now we have the Divine Speaker. Oh! It loaded as... Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Alright, start. Welcome to the extended demo. Where would you like to start? I don't fucking know. Jump to the end of the original demo. Show me the story from the beginning. Alright, start. The timer. Birth of a child heralds many things. Change, adaptation, confusion, but most importantly, the judgment. A newly born child's first destination isn't its mother's arms, but the embrace of another. The Divine Speaker, the person tasked with determining a child's destiny from the day they are born till the day they die. Is that who we think it is? This destiny is determined by lottery. The Speaker's hand, guided by the forces above, always chooses the correct fate for the correct child. This judgment guides them on the path to eventually becoming the person they were always destined to be.
Rain?
Ah!
Could we
Cute.
please go play outside?
Tobias, Rain, could we pretty please go play outside? We promised to be back before it gets dark. I quickly glanced over in the matron's direction, and she gave me a short nod. I didn't really have the authority to tell them what they could do, but that never stopped them coming to ask me. Oh well, I don't mind. They knew I could never say no to them. Alright, but make sure to be back before sundown, and don't go anywhere close to the forest, alright? Okay. Yay! Thank you, Rain. We promise we won't.
But why aren't we allowed to ever play there? Can we go when we're adults?
But why aren't we allowed to play over there? Can we go when we're adults? No, you can't. But why? It's not fair. I let out a sigh, but felt a small smile rising to my face. I couldn't help chuckling at their curiosity. They would ask the same question every day they wanted to go out and play.
Come over here
and I'll explain it to you. What, do you not explain it every single day? I walked over to the table at the far end of the hall. The top was littered with paper. We like paper. Children's books and pencils. Buried among them was a map. Ooh, hello.
Look closely at this map while I explain. Our home, Aurelia Cavella, is surrounded on all sides by the forest.
Look closely at this map while I explain. Our home, Aurelia Cavella, is surrounded on all sides by the forest. This forest is full of bad guys and dangerous animals. Do you know why? Because the divine beings don't protect the outside land? That's right. The beings above protect us while we are inside Aurelia Cavella, but that protection doesn't extend outside of our land. No one can survive out there. That's why everyone lives here, where we can be safe and happy. I know it might seem unfair now, but you'll understand when you're older that we're just trying to protect you.
There's just nothing out there to find.
There's just nothing out there to find. The forest goes on infinitely with us right at the center. Everyone in the entire world lives here? I doubt it. Oh. I guess some people might find it annoying to answer the same questions every day. Not me, though. They're curious, and I can't blame them. When I was their age, I asked exactly the same questions to the older kids. That's right. That's the way
That's
it's
the way
always
it-
been.
But what's this place over there? Zuras?
But what's that place over there? Azeros. She pointed to the map in the north of the city with the name Azeros. Oh, is that it? Written underneath it on the map. Azeros? I don't really know
Azeros?
much about it. But
Once you get old.
once you get old,
Not old like
and
me,
not like me, I mean ancient, the divine beings
The
and
divine
speaker
beings and
reward you
speaker
for your
reward
lifetime
you
of
for
serving
your
them.
lifetime of
All the
serving
elders go to live there alone
All
in
the
peace and
elders go-
relaxation.
I hear it's pretty luxurious, but
Aha! I hear it's pretty
there.
luxurious, but
You
I've
can only
never
go
been
when
there.
you're called
You can
upon.
only go when you're called upon. The kids looked up at me, obviously interested in hearing more. There just wasn't much more to say. No one really knew what it was like in there. The speaker tells us about the luxuries of Azeros, and it makes us work all the more harder to one day get in there. That's all we need to know about it.
Now go out and play.
Now
before
go
the
out and
sun
play before the
starts
sun
setting.
starts setting. Cute. They both scurried off out the door, jumping, running, and screaming the whole way. Why are they screaming? I don't remember screaming. They really are cute. I'm so happy to have such a great family here. Tobias, Maya, all the others, they're like my brothers and sisters. Aw. Well, technically I don't have a real family, but they've always been more than enough. I was dumped on the side of the road as a baby and ended up here. Aw. I never knew my parents, so it's hard to be angry about it when growing up here has been so good.
Rain?
Good! Matron
May I
Rain,
speak
may
with
I
you for a
speak with you
moment?
for a moment? I looked up towards that voice. I knew well. The matron of my orphanage, a tough woman, but infinitely full of love. Aw. She looked after me my entire life, along with dozens of other kids. You were never adopted?
Of course, ma'am. What do you need? I hope
You'd
it was
use a
okay to
baby.
let the
Babies
children
are
have
more
a
likely to be
day.
adopted than older kids. Why wouldn't you have been adopted as a baby? This makes no sense. Okay, so what do you need? I hope it was okay to let the children out to play for the day.
No.
Oh!
It's nothing about that. I just like to have a chat.
No, it's nothing about that. I just like to have a chat.
You've been with us for a long
We know
time.
who she is. We saw her
I found
earlier.
you in the gutters
You've
about
been with us for a
18
long time
years
already. I
ago.
found you in the gutters around 18 years ago today. Has it really been that long already? Why are you talking about the gutter? Why you bring that up? Woman? Anyway, they have similar color eyes. Anyway, it's true that I should be coming of age about now, so she probably thinks it's about time for me to be moving on.
Yes, it has been a long time. If you give me a few days, I'll say goodbye to the children.
Yes, it has
and
been
start
a long
packing up.
time. If you give me a few days, I'll say goodbye to the children and start packing
What?
up. What?
I
I
think
think
you
you misunderstand. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small envelope.
This is for you. Happy birthday.
This is for you. Happy birthday. Go and get yourself something nice. Aw, she smiled at me, so full of warmth, but it quickly changed to a scowl.
Also, don't think you're getting out of here anytime soon.
Also,
I'd go
don't
out of
think
my
you're
mind
getting out of
answering
here
those
anytime
questions
soon.
every day.
I'd go out of my mind answering those questions every day. Ha! She pushed the envelope into my hands and walked away, brusque as ever.
Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you so
I'll
much,
head out and
ma'am.
get the groceries
I'll
you
head
asked me to
out
get
and pick
earlier
up the
then.
groceries you
Be
asked me
back
to get
soon.
earlier then. Be back soon. The old heavy door groaned as I pushed against it. I stepped outside, breathing in the fresh air and enjoying the sunlight. You're supposed to be getting yourself something nice. Why are you getting groceries? Alright, the sun was high up in the sky and a nice breeze soared through the city. It was a beautiful day. Yay. But I couldn't help but notice that the flowers that were in full bloom yesterday were already wilting. Maybe no one watered them yesterday? Anyway. I guess that must mean today's my birthday. It's not like I didn't realize it was coming up sometime soon, but it wasn't really at the front of my mind. It's never been a big deal to me. It's not a big deal to me either. I looked closely at the envelope in my hands, white and simple. This is the first time I've ever been given a birthday present. Wow. I'm scared to open it. I almost want to leave it sealed. It's kind of scary being given something I don't know where. Yes. Curiosity was beginning to get the better of me, though. It's always been a problem of
Okay.
mine. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Go. I tore the seal open in one fell swoop.
Oh my.
Oh my, by the
My
gods. Inside was 10 marks, which was more money than I'd had in my entire life, and a letter addressed to me. Let's see, dear Rain.
Dear Rain.
Dear Rain.
Here, Rain, happy birthday, my dear. I'm sorry we couldn't
I'm
afford
sorry we
much to
couldn't
give you,
afford
but
much
I
to
hope
give
it's enough for you to get something
But
you like.
I
The
hope
kids
it's
have been
enough for you
saving
to
up
get
just for
something
you.
like.
Oh!
From the day I found you, I've always thought of you as a son.
From the day I found you, I've always thought of you as a son.
won't be
Now
long
that you're of
until you will be
age, it
matched up
won't be
yourself
long
and
until
have your
you will
own
be matched up
children.
yourself and have your own children. Really? That's okay.
Until that day.
Until that day,
please
please stay with us at the orphanage. Both the children and I would be lost without you.
I'm sure if your parents saw you now,
they would be proud of you, just like I am.
Matron Arala.
Yep, knew it. Yours, Matron Awala. Hick. I couldn't stop myself. The eyes welled up instantly and overflowed all over the letter. Oh!
Thank you.
Thank you. They saved all this just for me. I can't let them down. I'll go buy something amazing to share with them. With determination, I started on my way to the marketplace, envelope and money buried in my clothing. Oh, the markets were just past the town square. Ooh, on the west side of Aurelia Cavella. Town square was where new children came for their judgments and where the speaker made his proclamations. The beings above sing praise for the contributions you have given our humble home. Likewise, they implore you to continue giving your lives over to them, for they provide you with protection from the evils lurking inside the forest.
Huh.
We know who that is! Huh, it looks like the Divine Speaker is declaring something right now. And he's still got the ornament! He was dressed head to toe in white and gold, the definition of elegance in his ceremonial gowns. His long, silvery white hair reached out down his back neatly.
I understand your frustrations about our failed crops.
I understand your frustrations about our failed crops, but do not worry yourselves, for the beings above have a reason for everything. Soon you will see why they have put you through these trials. Sir! Yes, Lord Speaker. The failed crops? I think I heard a little about the situation from the matron. It seemed this was the first time in 100 years that they had failed this badly. And there's some worry about whether we'll have enough or not this winter.
Yes, Lord Speaker.
Yes, Lord Speaker. Before I knew it, I was already in the crowd, chanting along with the other residents. The eloquent and beautiful way he spoke was always hypnotizing. And in the very beginning, we just saw in the prequel how he was talking about how he can't speak to a crowd. He's grown. The most highly respected person out of Aurelia Cavella, second only to the gods. Just being in his presence was amazing. The whole time he spoke, the crowd stood mesmerized. I was so immersed, I didn't even notice he was already nearly finished. In due time, all of you shall be rewarded with the freedom the Azeros brings. With this in mind, I hope you will continue your offerings and duties. Thank you. Applause exploded out from the crowd. As he finishes his speech, smiling, he waved and cast his eyes around the crowd. I waved and cheered along with the crowd before his eyes met mine. Oh dear. Almost immediately, a shock ran through my body. Shock changed to heat, and the heat changed to burning. Before I knew it, I crumpled to the ground, gasping for air, but it felt like my lungs were on fire. Every breath burnt my insides even more. Oh, it's all shaky. Everyone around was watching me, but worst of all were his eyes, the speakers. I could still feel his eyes boring into me, as if he could see everything, even secrets you kept in the deepest parts of your soul. I have to escape them now. Alright, I forced myself back to my feet, ran as fast as I could, and ducked into a nearby alleyway. That looks familiar. I could feel the world around me getting darker, blurrier. Fell to the ground in a fetal position, sobbing. Abruptly, the pain started to move. It concentrated itself into my left arm with the force of all my previous pain put together. Anyone, please? I shuddered, clutching my arm and enduring this scalding pain before my vision went black. Uh-oh. You must protect, awaken, destiny, judgment. His money better not be gone. I blinked a few times, trying to work out where I was. The darkness that surrounded my vision wore off slowly as I sat up. That's right.
That's
I was
right.
in the town square listening to the speaker, and then... Wait, did I collapse here? I quickly checked over my body. The pain was completely
Huh?
gone, huh? What is this? Oh, magic!
What is this?
When I looked closer, I noticed something that hadn't been there before. Some kind of strange markings were running down my arm. It's not a language I'd ever seen before. Oh, they were talking about how the pain concentrated on their arm, right? My first instinct was to try and scratch them off, but it was like it was branded onto my skin. It wasn't going anywhere.
I have to
I have to get back to the orphanage. They don't know where I am. When I left, the sun was still high in the sky, but now it's already night. How long have I been out? A while, clearly. I stood up slowly, holding onto the wall for balance. The burning sensation was gone, and all I was left with was a sore body. Oh, must be from collapsing onto the ground. Where am I? I guess I'll head back the way I came. Through the thick darkness, I followed the alleyway back the way I came. Cool. Desperate for all this to be a dream. It's not. After a little searching, I somehow found my way back to the town square. A few people buzzed about, doing last-minute shopping or chattering with each other. I clutched my branded arm close to my chest, making sure to keep it out of view. I don't know what they'd do if they saw it. I don't even know what it is. I couldn't help glancing around nervously, like some kind of thief worried about getting busted. That's why I didn't notice when I ran headlong into someone and got knocked off my feet.
Ouch!
Ouch! Oh, we saw him earlier in the photos when I was showing the thingy. Anyway, look at the person standing over me. He was a tall, lean man, probably in his 20s, with dark red hair that reached down his back and a serious look on his face. I'm so sorry. Stood there for a moment, just watching me. His gaze made me nervous. It was like a snake sizing up his prey. That's when I noticed he wasn't staring at me, but at my arm. I instantly clutched my arm on my chest.
Is this where you usually spend your time bumping into people, or do you have a few favorite spots?
Is this where you usually spend your time bumping into people, or do you have a few favorite spots? What? No, I don't usually...
Oh, I guess this is a privilege then.
I guess this is a privilege then. I feel lucky. My mouth just hung kind of open. What's this guy's problem? I don't think I've ever met someone so... Uh-oh. So rude.
I'm
Very sorry for near you. I was just trying to get home quickly, too.
Whatever that is on your
To hide whatever that is on your arm? Again, all I could do was look at him in shock. We stared at each other for a moment before he held his hand out to me.
Let me help you up. If you stay down there long enough, people will start to think you're part of the
Ha!
scenery.
Let me help you up. If you stay down there long enough, people might start to think you're part of the scenery. Oh, we have options? I looked at the outstretched hand, but decided against taking it. Who needs help for someone as rude as him?
Thank you.
But I'm perfectly capable of standing up myself. Where's my feet and dusted my clothes off? I'll be leaving now. Sorry for causing you trouble. I quickly turned to leave. This guy is the last person I want to be wasting my time on.
Wait a second.
Wait a second. I know something about the markings on your arm. I whirled around to face him again, faster than I've ever moved before. You do? Whoops. You do? What do you know about it?
I know the speaker keeps tomes written with the same markings in his personal archive.
I know the speaker keeps tomes written with the same markings in his personal archive. He's actually allowing visitors, but tonight only.
Too bad you seem so busy.
Too bad you seem so busy. This might be the last time it's ever open to the public. Anyway, good night.
Night.
Oh, Aemyl does seem like the person who's nice about it. Red-haired man turned around and slipped off into the shadows. I was left with his words just hanging in the air. I guess one more slight detour wouldn't hurt. I'm already late as it is, I guess. Bit my lip, thinking hard on his words. There's no way I can miss this chance. If it's the only way to find out what these markings mean, then determined, I turned towards the direction of the speaker's archives. Cool. Took a while to walk across town to the speaker's palace. Oh, they have a palace. It was large, but mostly empty, seeing as he was the only resident. That's a waste. This is the first time I've ever heard of anyone being allowed into his personal archives, though. I think even the Lord has restricted access. Maybe this is my lucky day after all. Or Aemyl knew something was up and opened up the archives hoping they'd come back. I walked up to the door and knocked loud. lightly. Hello, speaker? When I knocked, the door swung open. It was already unlocked, and I could see the light from inside. I guess he's probably already in there, showing the archives of the people. Excuse me. I opened the door further and followed a corridor down to another door that was slightly ajar. Hello! We've seen this room before. When I entered the room, I almost toppled over in astonishment. Thankfully, I didn't, since it would have been the third time I fell over in a single day. Bookshelves lined the walls, going up to the ceiling. Tomes and documents littered every surface. In the hazy light, the candles flickered all over, only furthered my amazement. Cool. It was beautiful. Yeah, it is. That's some nice art. Never in my life had I seen this many books. I walked in further, feeling the spines with my fingers and smelling the musty scent of the room. Various books littered the tabletop in the center of the room. I walked closer to them. First in the titles, A Brief History, said Kaham, Bloodlines. There were thousands of books here I would love to read. And too bad he's only allowing visitors for a single day. I picked up the first book. A Brief History. I flicked through it slowly, reading a few sentences off of each page. Looked like some pages were missing. It would jump from talking about the palace being built to the animals that inhabit our land. Let's see. Foundation. The Kingdom of Aurelia Cavala is founded by Prince Shion, second Eve of Augustus. Interesting. I've never heard of who first founded our kingdom. This book must be really old if it's talking about that. I put the first book back in its place and moved on to said Kaham. It was different to the other books, a journal. When I opened it, I found that every page was covered in black ink, making it unreadable. Uh-oh. Looks like someone had a bit of an accent with this one and an inkwell, or was it purposeful? Bloodlines, the next. I picked it up from the pile. Open it in the middle. The name should have given me a clue, honestly. It was some kind of record of birth for what looked like a high-class bloodline. On this page, the bloodline started with King Shion of Sid and moved down to more recent years. It ended with Prince Caspian. I keep reading about this. I wonder what it means. Wait a second. Shion was the founder of our city, right? And that must mean this is the royal bloodline, but why does it only start 500 years ago? Aurelia Cavala has always been here for thousands of years. There must be a mistake here, surely. People had to live somewhere before then, and everyone knows there isn't anywhere inhabitable outside of our protected lands. There's only here in the forest. Flip the page over to the next one. The page was filled in strange markings in a script I'd never read before. I hurriedly pulled up my sleeve to compare them and found some matching characters. Oh! The layout was similar to that of the royal bloodline, so it must also be a list of names, but who?
Looks like the last person added to this list was 19 years ago.
It looks like the last person added to this list was 19 years ago? Oh? Are you actually 19? So absorbed in trying to work out what that meant, I didn't hear the sound of someone opening the door behind me. Is it Aemyl? Well, an intruder in my archives. Hi, Aemyl. I whipped around to face the voice. It was none other than the speaker himself. I'd never seen him up so close. I hid the book instinctively inside my cloak. Speaker. I dropped to one knee in front of him out of respect. Does he even like that? Thank you so much for having the archives open today. I've never seen so many books. Excuse me, having the archives open. He looked at me with visible confusion on his face. That's right, the Minotaur Square. He told me, wait, what? I definitely heard him right. He said it was open to everyone. Then why does the speaker look like he knows nothing about it?
I'm not sure who told you what, but my archives are off limits to
I'm not sure who told you what, but my archives are off limits to all but myself. Oh. Behind him, I could see guards appearing from every direction. Trespassing in a restricted area is an act of treachery. Aemyl, what are you doing? The only punishment fit for someone betraying their own home is death. Sir! Please change your mind. I could feel my stomach drop when he said that. Death. Death? I've never heard of anyone sentenced as death. No, this is all wrong. No, wait, please, I'm not betraying. I just wanted to read. I don't know what your intentions were.
act in the best
You
interest of
you
both our
became
residents
Lucius,
and
I
the
hope not.
gods.
I don't know what your
Guards,
intentions were coming here, but I must act in the best interest of both our residents and the gods. Guards,
Now
take
wait there
him.
just a minute, Speaker.
Now wait there just a minute, speaker. Caspian? I could see someone pushing through all the guards, making their way to the front of the crowd. It was our lord who works with the speaker to uphold our
We're not
land.
equipped to suddenly have a public execution, Sir Speaker.
Oh, Lord Septum.
We haven't
Okay.
needed one in years. In
We're
this
not
case,
equipped to suddenly
it'd
have
be
a public
best to
execution, Sir
exile
Speaker. We haven't needed one in
Being out there
years.
in
In
the
this
forest
case, I
is a
think it would be
death
best to
sentence
exile
anyway.
him. Being out there in the forest is a death sentence anyway. My heart dropped even further. Emil, what are you doing? I thought he had come to my rescue, but what he was suggesting was worse than death. No one in my lifetime had ever been exiled. The things you would endure out there would be much nastier than the quick hanging you would get here. Please, I didn't mean silence. He stood. Show him your arm. Show him your arm. Show him your arm. He stood in front of me, his icy eyes digging into my soul. I couldn't help but think about earlier in the town square when our eyes met. I flinched away from his gaze.
You're right. Why dirty our own land with the blood of a criminal?
Perhaps you're right. Why
Nature
dirty
take
our
care
own
of it
land with
for
the
us.
blood of a criminal when we can let nature take care of it for us? Guards, take his arms. I'll escort him to the forest edge. Both my arms were seized by the burly guards. There was no hope of escaping. All I could do was follow behind the speaker, being pushed from behind the entire way. Show him your arm! I hung my head in shame as I was paraded through the town. I could see faces peering at me from windows everywhere I went. All I could do was look down at the ground. Arm! When you get let go, show him your arm. Who could blame them? I would watch too.
Release him.
Oh,
You
height
may
difference.
go.
Urson, you may go. I will handle this from here. Or are you just putting up a front? I wonder if you're just putting up a front. The two guards saluted before marching off back into town. Once we couldn't see their backs anymore, he spoke.
I don't know why you would do what you did. Nevertheless,
I don't know
you
why
must
you
now
would
live
do
with
what
the
you did. Nevertheless, you must now live with the
consequences.
consequences. This might seem unfair. It would be best for you to learn
Best for
just
you
how
to learn
unfair
just
this world
how
can be, though.
Unfair this world can be.
I looked up at his face. I couldn't tell what he was thinking at all, but I was mesmerized. He reached out and lightly caressed my chin with his fingertips. Up close, his long eyelashes trembled in the wind. Okay. Ah. And he looked almost ethereal. Like he himself was one of the beings above. You look just like your father did. Wait, what? Are you talking about Caspian? At that, he released my face and turned to leave. Run, and don't look back, just like he did. His back slowly disappeared into town. I thought about going back the same way, hiding at the orphanage, but everyone just saw me being marched through town like that. There was no other choice. Yeah, there is! I had to leave with only the clothes on my backs, the envelope from the matron, the book I had stolen accidentally from the speaker, and my regret. Oops. I ran like I'd never ran before. I felt like my heart would burst out of my chest at any second, and my lungs burnt with every breath. Muscles I didn't even know I had arched ached. Even when I thought I couldn't go any further, I kept running. When I finally collapsed, all I could see was trees and darkness in all directions. I was completely lost. I laid down on my back, caught my breath. What can I do now? I've lost everything. No home to return to, no family. What will everyone at the orphanage think when they find out? Oh, will they be disappointed, angry, disappointed? Will they think I've abandoned them, betrayed them? A million thoughts ran through my head all at once. That's a horrible birthday. I took a deep breath of fresh forest air and calmed my thoughts. It was only then when I realized the situation I was in. Here I was, brought on the forest floor, alone, at night. Suddenly picked up on all the things I hadn't noticed before. A scratching sound, bushes rustling, howl from somewhere far in the distance. The wind picked up and whipped my hair around my face, only adding to the sudden terror that had struck my heart. All the stories I've been told since childhood about venturing outside of Aurelia Cavella hit me. In fact, I hadn't only heard of them, I'd repeated the same ones to the children time and time again. Nobody left the confines of Aurelia Cavella. The forest was a dangerous place that spread to the far corners of the planet, and only by the protection from the beings above had we lived in peace for so long. Strained my eyes, trying to look into the darkness that surrounded me. Finally, I dragged myself up from the forest floor, pulled my coat tighter around myself for security, and nervously checked that I still had all my belongings before turning back the way I came. Maybe if I stay close to the city lights, it'll scare away any danger. You're about to get lost.
It was this way.
It was this way, right?
Or
Or this way? No matter which direction I turned to face, the trees looked the same, and from every angle I could hear strange noises. Come on, which way, which way? Whip my head from left to right before dropping my head into my hands. I unconsciously let out a sigh. It's hopeless. Once again, I was surrounded by the sounds of the forest, feeling of the unknown. Who knew it would be this scary? An eerie feeling gripped my heart. I could feel eyes on me.
no.
No, I must be imagining it. Suddenly, it was quiet. All I could hear was my own heartbeat, quickening by the second. I had to get out of here. With no sense of direction, I just ran. Ran until I couldn't run anymore. Uh-oh. No matter where I went, everything looked the same. The trees started to blend together in my eyes, becoming one entity. I collapsed onto the ground and crawled backwards until my body hit a tree. Oh! Just the feeling of having something behind me made me feel more secure. I buried myself into its huge roots. That's not a bad idea. I could barely make out my hand in front of my face in the pitch black darkness. The night was freezing. I brought my knees up to my chest, hugging it tight to try and get some warmth. I felt the letter that I had hidden in my clothes. I'm sorry. With the letter clutched to my heart, I shut my eyes to try and escape from the dangers of reality. And sad face. Oh! Oh! Are these linked somehow? Ooh. There's an idea. Alright. So those are two of the unrecordables. I am in a really good mood. Hopefully I can get through the other two tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see how I feel today. I woke up exhausted today. I don't fucking know why. But, closing. This was fun. And because there was no sex in this, I can actually upload this to YouTube's. We like YouTube. When they're not doing a whole bunch of bullshit with censoring words. Anyway, that's not what this is for. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun with this. I know I did. I'm definitely going to be continuing these. I need to keep this. Nope, no, not what this is for. Thank you for watching. If you would like to support what I do with the streaming, that's the MonriaTitans WGS. That's for updating equipment and anything else streaming related. I didn't talk about the artist shoutouts, but if you'd like to see the rest of the artist shoutouts, I share things so as to get exposure for human artists to combat plagiarism laundering. You can check out all the laundering. You can check that out at the Artist Shoutouts Ko-fi. If you would like to check out my art and support my art, that's the Titans from Mariah Art Ko-fi. If you would just like to support me, help me live, you don't care what I do with it as long as it's not illegal, help me live, that's the Buy Me a Coffee, which is a really fun kind of blogging platform. Anyway. Although my favorite affiliation is Bookshop.org, what I like to call the Etsy for small business bookstores. Do you want to help small business bookstores? Do you want an option other than Amazon? You want to get books for yourself, help out the channel? That's 4 skips with a stone via bookshop.org/shop/MonriaTitans. It was initially called MonriaTitans Bookshop. And then I came up with the title Rendezvous Point. I considered changing the slug. Then I remembered all the different places that I had to change the link and changed my mind. So it is bookshop.org/shop/MonriaTitans. Up next on Sunday, I'm doing another Let's Play Some Demos. Part 34, I believe we're on now. And maybe tomorrow, depending on how I feel tomorrow, I will do the other 2 NSFW thingies I was not able to record. That was not fun. That sucked. Alright. And now we come to a close. Remember, we are gamers not because we don't have a life, but because we choose to have many, which can also be said of readers. If anyone asks you why you like video games, remind them, a game is a problem-solving activity approached with a playful attitude, a quote by Jesse Shell. And if anyone gives you shit for your interest, tell them you may not like video games, but what I learned from them is this. No enemies in front of you means you are going the wrong way. Thank you for watching. May every decision you make be in the spirit of fairness, and may the rest of your day not go to shit. See you next time.